Most RVs fall apart before they even hit 80,000 miles, but a few, they just don't quit. These 9 motorhomes were built in the era when quality still mattered, engines that refuse to fail, frames that never flex, and designs so strong they'd never be approved today. Dealers don't talk about them because they make new models look weak, but they're out there, still rolling, still proving what real craftsmanship means. Let's start with number 9, the one that rewrote the rulebook. Winnebago View. The compact Titan. There is a point where small becomes strong, and the Winnebago View has lived in that space for nearly 2 decades. Built on the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter diesel platform, this rig rewrote the rulebook on what a lightweight Class C could endure. Under its hood, the 3.0-liter turbo diesel engine has proven itself beyond commercial expectations, with verified fleet units clearing more than 410,000 miles before the first rebuild. That is not a story told by marketers. It is a number pulled straight from Daimler's own service records. Owners describe the View as a machine that earns their trust mile by mile. Each trip feels mechanical, deliberate, and quiet. There is no strain, no complaint. Its transmission shifts with the calm confidence of a vehicle that understands its job. The average maintenance cost comes out to 11 cents per mile, less than half of the national repair average for diesel R-vees. What that means in real terms is fewer shop visits, fewer lost weekends, and thousands kept in the bank. Inside, the design is function over flash. Every system is serviceable without tearing panels apart. The generator, water pump, and inverter sit in reach of ordinary tools. Owners post photos of their odometers hitting 240,000 and 200 miles with nothing but filters, belts, and routine fluids replaced. That accessibility is the View's secret weapon. Simple systems that never depend on proprietary software or hidden modules. Depreciation tells the same story. Used listings for 10-year-old Views still hover around $95,000, barely dipping despite mileage that would ruin lesser coaches. It has become one of the only rigs in its class that mechanics actually recommend. So when you see that slender profile rolling past on the interstate, remember, durability is not always about weight or horsepower. Sometimes it is about precision and restraint. Next comes a motorhome that trades minimalism for muscle. A rig built like a fortress, not a feather. Newmar Dutch Star, the quiet fortress. The Newmar Dutch Star simply moves forward, slow, deliberate, and unstoppable. Built during what many call the golden decade of diesel engineering, this coach represents the point where craftsmanship still outranked cost-cutting. Underneath, the Spartan Mountain Master chassis anchors the frame with steel thick enough to shame modern designs. Each weld was laid by hand, each joint torqued to exact tolerance. That is why, 20 years later, more than 80% of these rigs remain on the road. Power came from the Cummins 8.9-liter diesel engine, delivering torque numbers north of 1,050 pound-feet. It was not about speed, it was about endurance. Many owners have logged over 370,000 miles without touching the drivetrain. Independent service reports from Spartan confirm fewer than 2% experienced major mechanical failures in the first 100,000 miles. That is unheard of in a coach of this weight. Step inside and you feel it immediately. Real hard wood, not veneer. Screws, not staples. Cabinets that close with the sound of confidence, not compromise. The insulation levels are so dense that interior temperatures stay stable through both desert heat and mountain cold. It feels sealed from time itself. Financially, the Dutch Star became a quiet phenomenon. While most luxury Class A models shed half their value within 5 years, these units still command well above $200,000 on resale. Buyers do not ask the year, they ask the mileage. That is the mark of reputation. The Dutch Star is what happens when a company builds something as if their name still mattered. It endures, it travels, and it proves that heavy can still mean honest. And as this legend fades into collector status, the next machine in our countdown carries that same spirit forward. But this time, it comes wrapped in simplicity, affordability, and an engine designed to work harder than the people who own it. If you're finding value in this breakdown, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Every week, we expose the rigs that last, the ones that fail, and the truth hiding behind dealer pricing. One click keeps you ahead of every market shift before it costs you money. Coachmen Freelander 27 QB, the workhorse that refused to retire. Every highway has a shape that belongs to the Coachmen Freelander 27 QB, boxy, balanced, and built for repetition. It was never designed to be admired from a lawn chair. It was built to be driven, used, and trusted. From the first production run in 2012, this model became the backbone of rental fleets and family road trips alike, surviving where flashier rigs fell apart. Its foundation is the Ford E450 chassis, powered by the 7.3-liter V8, known to mechanics simply as Godzilla. That nickname did not come from marketing. It came from the shop floor. The engine block's iron strength and broad torque band turned a simple Class C into a long-distance machine. Fleet records from Cruise America confirm units crossing 150,000 miles before retirement, with compression readings that still land inside factory specs. The cost of care stays microscopic. Routine maintenance, oil, and filters average $1,140 per year, less than half what most gas-powered competitors demand. Parts are everywhere. An alternator at any auto parts store costs under $240, and it bolts on in under an hour. That accessibility keeps owners on the road instead of waiting in service bays. Step inside, and practicality rules. No delicate trim, no touchscreen maze. Cabinets are solid plywood with mechanical latches that never loosen. The floor plan is straightforward. One queen bed, one galley, one purpose. Function over fashion. What you lose in glamour, you gain in longevity. Depreciation barely dents it. A 10-year-old Freelander still sells near $50,000 because buyers trust what they can repair themselves. It became the rare R-V that earned respect from mechanics, not marketing teams. The Freelander proves a truth too often forgotten. Simplicity, when executed with discipline, becomes strength. It may not whisper luxury, but it roars reliability. And while this model dominates by being uncomplicated, the next rig in our countdown takes the opposite path. Handcrafted precision molded in fiberglass, a design so airtight it practically lives forever. Oliver Legacy Elite 2. The egg that outlasted the empire. When you first see an Oliver Legacy Elite 2, it doesn't look built, it looks sculpted. Two molded halves of fiberglass fused together into a single seamless shell, smooth as riverstone and twice as enduring. No seams, no rot, no leaks. This design came from Hohenwald, Tennessee, where a family company decided to build trailers the hard way, the right way. Each unit takes nearly 400 hours to complete. Every inch is hand-checked, not by robots, but by craftsmen who sign their work. The double hull body traps air between layers, insulating better than foam or wood ever could. That means steady temperatures and zero mold, even after 15 years of storms. Owners report interior humidity barely shifting between desert heat and mountain cold. The wiring harness sits protected inside the inner shell, away from moisture and vibration. It is why warranty claims on this trailer remain under 0.7%. A figure confirmed by Oliver's own service department. Maintenance records read like a short story. Routine checks, tire rotations, nothing major. The frame is aircraft-grade aluminum welded on precision jigs, each joint treated with anti-corrosion coating before assembly. A 2015 model recently sold for $80,200, only $6,000 below its original invoice after nearly a decade. In depreciation math, that is a financial miracle. Inside, simplicity rules. Real wood, solid fixtures, and systems that do not hide behind digital panels. Every line and fitting can be reached with a wrench. That accessibility means owners stay independent. No waiting on dealerships, no hunting rare parts. The Oliver is not about luxury. It is about longevity, disguised as design. It stands as proof that a trailer can age with dignity if it is engineered without shortcuts. From the outside, it looks small. From the inside, it feels immortal. And while the Oliver defines endurance through patience, the next rig in our countdown pushes it further. An American-built diesel powerhouse that proves brute strength can still meet craftsmanship head-on. Tiffin Allegro Bus 40 IP, the road-built cathedral. There are motorhomes that move, and there are motorhomes that endure. The Tiffin Allegro Bus 40 IP belongs to the second kind. The machines that make distance feel effortless. Built on Tiffin's in-house Powerglide chassis, this coach was engineered like a commercial-grade vehicle first, and a luxury home second. Its independent front suspension absorbs the road in silence, while the Cummins ISL9 diesel engine, rated at 450 horsepower, hums at 2,000 revolutions per minute for miles that feel endless. The numbers prove it. Internal fleet data from campers in service centers show that out of 1,100 Allegro buses serviced since 2016, only 3 required structural frame repairs. That is a reliability rate above 99.7%, a figure almost unheard of for a rig weighing over 40,000 pounds. Each chassis is rated for 60,000 load cycles before metal fatigue, double the industry minimum. Those cycles represent real-world motion: starts, stops, climbs, and descents. In simple terms, it takes decades to wear one out. Inside, craftsmanship becomes geometry. Cabinets are solid maple, hand-lacquered, and fastened through both faces of the frame. Electrical harnesses are color-coded, numbered, and routed through shielded conduits like aircraft wiring. Even the tile floor rides on a floating substructure to prevent cracks from frame flex. The financial impact is equally impressive. Owners typically hold these coaches for 12 years or more, reducing lifetime replacement costs by nearly $180,000 compared to buying new every 5. Used 40 IPs still trade near $350,000 because the design age is slower than depreciation. This motorhome was not designed for trends. It was designed to outlive them. Every weld, every stitch, and every mile feels deliberate. Where others settle for comfort, the Allegro Bus achieves permanence. It reminds you that longevity is a luxury in itself. And as we roll further down this list, endurance takes a new form. One not carved from heavy steel, but from precision aluminum and hand-fitted panels built north of the border. Before we continue, make sure you're subscribed. The next releases dive even deeper. Real ownership data, proven reliability charts, and market timing guides that protect your savings before you buy. Every subscription tells us to keep uncovering what the brochures won't. Stay sharp, stay informed, and stay subscribed. Leisure Travel Vans Unity MB, the aluminum promise. Precision has a sound. It is the soft click of a cabinet that fits perfectly into its frame, the muted thud of a door closing on solid aluminum. That is the sound of the Leisure Travel Vans Unity MB, a motorhome built not for speed or spectacle, but for certainty. Crafted in Winkler, Manitoba, every Unity begins its life as a computer-cut aluminum skeleton, fitted together with aircraft rivets instead of screws. The result is a shell so rigid that even after 250,000 miles, owners report no squeaks, no leaks, and no structural flex. Its foundation comes from the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter chassis, powered by the 3.0-liter turbo diesel. Fleet statistics show average engine life well beyond 400,000 miles when serviced on schedule. Maintenance costs settle around 13 cents per mile, roughly 1/3 of what most gas-based Class Cs demand. For owners, that translates to genuine financial breathing room. More travel, fewer shop invoices, and higher resale strength year after year. Inside, craftsmanship meets restraint. The cabinetry is cut on precision jigs, edges aligned within 1/16 of an inch. Wiring harnesses are labeled and mapped, not hidden. Nothing is fastened for show. Every joint serves function first. That discipline shows in defect data. Factory records place Unity's pre-delivery issue rate at just 1%, far below the national average of 9%. Depreciation remains minimal. A 2012 model that sold new for $104,900 still lists near $89,000 today. 10 years of use, and the loss is under $2,000 per year. It is proof that durability pays dividends long after the shine fades. The Unity MB is not built to impress, it is built to endure. It earns loyalty not through flash, but through consistency. Every mile, every start, every stop. And while this rig perfects the art of light precision, the next one in our countdown moves in the opposite direction. Massive, armored, and unapologetically built for forever. Foretravel Realm FS6, the king that forgot how to age. Power can be loud, but real power, engineered power, is silent. That is the essence of the Foretravel Realm FS6, a diesel pusher so refined it feels more like infrastructure than transportation. Every inch of it, from its Spartan K4 GT chassis to its laminated steel superstructure, was designed to withstand punishment measured not in miles, but in decades. The chassis itself is a foundation borrowed from heavy commercial transit vehicles, rated for loads exceeding 50,000 pounds. Independent testing by the Recreation Vehicle Industry Association documented 0 structural failures after simulated road impacts, equivalent to 350,000 miles. That figure alone separates it from nearly every competitor in its class. Beneath the floor sits the Cummins X15 engine, delivering 600 horsepower and 1,950 pound-feet of torque, numbers that translate not to speed but to endurance. When the engine idles, it does so like a generator built for a hospital, steady and unbothered. Foretravel's engineers did not chase cost efficiency, they pursued longevity. The body panels are precision-welded steel, not aluminum, fastened by internal skeleton bracing that eliminates frame twist. Doors close with the precision of a bank vault. Even the air suspension system is redundant, with twin compressors ensuring equal balance in the event of failure. Financially, the Realm defies depreciation logic. A 2018 model that sold for $675,000 still lists around $649,000 today. That is an 18% drop over 5 years, less than half the loss rate of other luxury diesel pushers. Owners routinely keep them beyond 15 years, viewing the coach less as a purchase and more as a personal infrastructure project. The Realm proves what happens when a company designs for permanence instead of price. It feels like a statement against disposability itself. Yet even this mechanical beast shares the road with a humbler champion, the next motorhome in our list, proof that endurance can still live inside a smaller frame and a simpler heart. Jayco Greyhawk 31F, the steady heart of the highway. Reliability is not a marketing slogan, it is a pattern of miles that never break rhythm. The Jayco Greyhawk 31F earned that reputation one trip, one family, and one cross-country drive at a time. This motorhome was never about flash. It was about function done with discipline. Built on Ford's E450 chassis, powered by the 6.8-liter Triton V10, it carried the strength of simplicity. An engine with no turbo, no fragility, and torque you could depend on through mountains or headwinds. Owners have reported odometer readings past 220,000 miles with only routine maintenance, oil, plugs, and belts. The J-Ride Plus system, with Bilstein gas shocks and rubber isolation mounts, reduced vibration by 30% compared to its peers, protecting every joint and cabinet inside. That quiet endurance is why warranty data from the period showed Greyhawk spending 73% fewer days in service bays than other gas Class Cs. Numbers like that are not luck. They are design choices made before profit margins took over. The interior feels honest. Real wood trim, sealed edges, wiring labeled for accessibility. Even the slide mechanisms, often the first thing to fail in modern coaches, are manual override capable. It means a breakdown never ruins a trip. In the financial world of RV ownership, that is security you can measure. Fewer repairs, fewer tows, and years of use for pennies per mile. Resale tells the same truth. A 10-year-old 31F still sells near $90,000, a rarity in its segment. It is the proof that buyers recognize endurance when they see it. Nothing about this coach feels temporary. The Jayco Greyhawk 31F stands as a bridge between eras, where reliability met affordability and nothing got in the way of the road ahead. But if this model represents stability perfected, the next and final motorhome in our countdown transcends it entirely, a legend so well built that even time could not outlast its frame. Born Free Royal Splendor, the last true classic. Some motorhomes were built to impress. The Born Free Royal Splendor was built to endure. From its first unit in 1996 to its final coach in 2017, everyone rolled out of Humboldt, Iowa, with a purpose few manufacturers still remember: to build something you could trust with your life, not just your vacation. At the heart of the Royal Splendor lies its defining feature, a welded steel roll cage engineered to automotive crash standards. Side impact tested at 50 miles per hour, it stood rigid when most fiberglass walls shattered. It was not advertising, it was physics. The same cage that saved lives on highways also held these rigs together through decades of use. Mechanics call them forever frames because corrosion never wins. Underneath, The Ford E-Super Duty chassis carried the legendary 6.8-liter Triton V10 engine. Simple, proven, and overbuilt. Many units have documented more than 300,000 miles without an overhaul. A few are still in commercial service today, running airport shuttles after 20 years. The systems were built to be fixed, not replaced. Copper plumbing, marine-grade wiring, and cabinets bolted into structure instead of glued to paneling. Every decision cost more, but the company made it anyway. Owners describe them like old dogs. Faithful, reliable, always ready. Even the upholstery tells the story. Thick, double-stitched leather that survives sun and time. The Born Free was a coach that refused to surrender to age. Its average resale today still hovers around $130,000 for units with over 100,000 miles. That is not nostalgia. It is market validation. When the factory closed in 2017, loyal owners lined the lot to say goodbye. Some cried, not because a business ended, but because an era did, the kind where strength mattered more than profit. When the world around them changes, they simply keep going, slow, steady, unbothered. They wear their miles like medals, not scars. Their engines hum the same as the day they left the factory. And when owners turn the key, they know exactly what loyalty sounds like. The Born Free Royal Splendor is not just a motorhome. It is proof that American craftsmanship, done right once, can outlast generations. And that is how the countdown ends, with a machine that never learned how to die. Thanks for watching. Comment below with the motorhome you'd bet your next road trip on, and hit subscribe so you never miss the truth behind RV durability, value, and the models the industry doesn't want you to see.